Hare Krishna, everyone. Thanks for joining again for the last preparation before we start actually into the topic of men and women in spiritual culture with the nothing box of the man. Yeah, we heard about how we're not the body, and we learned a little bit, hopefully, about our false ego, which helps us no matter in which way in our devotional life, because the false ego is really in the way of our devotional service. Okay? False ego wants justice, fairness, so many things. But the Vaishnava approach is about duties. What do I need to do to get out of this world? What do I need to do to be able to engage in devotional service? And that's the purifying duties we perform. I hope that was getting clear from what I explained or tried to explain to my limited abilities. And so today we're just rounding up the preparation. Okay, we need patience, right? It's a big topic, and we have to start somewhere, right? And no matter where you start with this topic, because so much emotion is invested in it, it simply takes time to draw the whole picture. And I hope you'll be able to stick with me, no matter how the mind and the false ego may be protesting, right? I hope the ears will be clear, so the hearing process is actually happening, right? Because so easily the mind overpowers the ears, or the false ego overpowers the ears. All right, so please allow me enough time to draw that picture, right? Because it's a systematic approach, and you don't skip from now to the end, to the conclusion, because we will not be able to relate to it. That internal work hasn't been done. The realizations on the way will not be there. So that's just a humble request that please stick with the order of the videos, with the playlist, right? Systematically done, and just accept, well, it's a big topic, right? While we discuss the topic, so much more will come up, and we cannot discuss it all, right? And I want to present a certain aspect, right? Like I mentioned to start with, we want to just understand some mechanics. Then we want to look at the big misunderstanding with how the purification of the false ego takes place, especially in the Grihasta Ashrama. And then solving that misunderstanding actually automatically brings us forward, and we'll be able to see the great role women are meant to play in society, their role and their important role to actually establish Srila Prabhupada's other 50% of his mission, to establish Varnashrama Dharma. That's actually that's actually all the glories will go to the women, right? We will find that out, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be able to share what some of those realizations, some of those what somehow or other I was thinking, what I was thinking of being able to understand, right? And open up a discussion. That's another very important aspect of my attempt of that presentation here, is that we actually be able to talk about it, have a platform, a forum to talk about it. Right after the presentation, I don't want that channel to finish. The idea is, or the hope is that, well, first of all, there are comments for each video, and I encourage comments. Even hope that I can give sometimes a little homework, or just something where you just pause the presentation, have a think, and then write a little answer into the comments, sort of thing, right? So to have it a bit engaging. And I want the comments to be on the merits. I don't want to have it, please, another humble request, not much just ego bashing going on there, and just some, we want to discuss and keep the discussion open. When it's just some ideology, comments, and ego bashing and nonsense arguments going on, I'm not very keen to look into the comments to start with. I may even just switch it off. Not because I want to avoid critical voices, because that's very welcome as long as it's on the merit. But just like ideological bashing, ego bashing, and just debating opinionated stuff. And that's not what we want. We want open discussion. So after the presentation, I hope there will be some ladies, some couples, some senior devotees we can make interviews with, and just share their experience in the Grihasta Ashram, their experience in their relationship, their realizations about that topic, and hopefully bring that together, and hopefully that will bring us forward our own realizations on that topic, right? So it should be, hopefully a start to move forward individually and as a society. That's kind of my desire behind that all. Okay, and so let's see how we go. I hope I'll be able to express my thoughts and realizations and make it relevant to you, because oftentimes that's the problem, that I see the relevance, right? Or you see some relevance in a topic, but others don't. And since that topic of men and women, really everyone's heart is invested in that topic, to some extent or the other, right? And so it should be relevant. The question is, am I able to convey that, right? So I hope I can do it by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Right? I want to contribute something positive to Srila Prabhupada's mission, and I simply hope that you're able to bear with me and excuse my linguistic shortcomings. I'm not the best articulator, and I'm not the most sensitive person either. So I hope I can keep my false ego in check during that presentation, which is not always easy. And we'll have an inspiring, uplifting experience, all of us, with that presentation, with that topic. And I hope that we will be able to approach that topic then from a different point of view, right? From that transcendental point of view, from a point of view that we are not the body, from the point of view that, I need help. Maybe there's something I can learn here. Maybe I can do something different. Maybe I do not know everything as well as I thought. Right? And ultimately, spiritual life means, right, shifting the day of the materialist into our night. What is great and desirable as a materialist is the last thing we want to aspire for in devotional life. And the last thing we were interested in as a materialist will be the first thing we aspire for in devotional life. Right? So we have a whole paradigm shift actually going on in our devotional approach, that we have to make the day of the materialist our night, and the night of the materialist our day. And that doesn't go like that. It will go very slowly, right? Like the sun moves, right? And for myself, I'd say, looking around, looking what's in my heart, I'm definitely not even, the sun didn't even go up in the day of the spiritualist, right? It's still before Mangal Arati time, nice and dark, the stars in the sky, right? So I hope myself sooner or later that the devotional sun will rise and I will find myself in the day of the spiritualist, right? That's something to consider. That paradigm shift has to happen in our heart. Our materialistic ideas are luggage, which we unnecessarily carry around, and we have to shed it sooner or later. Right? Why not sooner? Why not making it easier? Right? Why not helping? Why not helping each other shedding that luggage? And Prabhupada gives a nice analogy about material life. It's a nonsensical stage performance, right? We take ourselves so serious, our bodies, our roles we play. I'm a dog. Ruff, ruff, ruff. I'm barking at everyone passing by the property. That's my job. That's my duty, and I'm taking it seriously, right? But then, at the end of life, curtain closes, and we find ourselves in another role. But that's just what it is. It's a role. It's not us. We are the actor. Right? We are the soul. Pretending to play certain roles. That's it. And at the end of our lives, when the curtain closes and the show is over, the only thing we can take with us is our relationship with Krishna. Right? That's what stays with us. Especially at the very end of our material journey, even the false ego leaves us. So we have to find our real ego, right? And leave and shed not only that gross body, but also the subtle body. And this great help Krishna provides is his personal system, because it takes into consideration the needs of everyone. Children, teenagers, young adults, older adults, and the elderly, men, women, even the animals. Everyone is considered. Everyone's needs are considered in Krishna's system. Everyone wins. Right? So I simply hope we will be able to see ourselves actually playing that silly role in a nonsensical stage performance. And we're so attached to our role. We are so attached to our way of doing things, of our way of thinking. But that's quite an impediment on our way back home, back to Godhead. And almost nothing, no other topic brings it better out than men and women in spiritual culture. Simply because so much emotion is invested in there. So many hopes are invested in our relationships, right? So much heart is invested in it. So that brings it really out what is maybe lacking on the way home back to God, what we have too much of, what we have too little of. Our fears will come out in this topic, right? That's why I say take the time, right? When you go through the presentation, take your time, right? Have someone to talk to. Watch it with your spouse. Discuss it, right? Allow yourself to do some internal work. Right? You can think about it for yourself, or you may want to, share, discuss it with others. And I hope everyone has a confidential friend you can use to help you processing what may come up in your heart. So that's just part of that topic. But it's good. It relieves us. It makes our vision more clear going forward. We're facing so many challenges because we're kind of suppressing so many things. Right? So that's just part of dealing with that topic. And some things may be too fresh in our heart. So we need maybe some more time, some more distance. And ultimately, it will simply benefit us. Urmila Mataji in her Learn to Read book series has this nice story about this boy playing with rocks. Right? Brown rocks, green rocks, whatnot rocks, big and small, and can do so many things with his rocks, right? But then the boatman comes, right? And he has that boat which can cross over that river, and on the other side there's Krishna. But to go in the boat, you have to be light. You can't take anything with you. Right? All the rocks have to stay. All that luggage has to stay. You cannot go in the boat. You cannot take that with you. And we think, the rocks are so much fun to play with. Right? But then the boatman convinces the boy, well, you can have fun with Krishna. And fun with Krishna's light is free. In that way, convinces us to enter the boat, leave all the rocks behind. Right? And the boy then meets Krishna on the other side. But that's necessary for all of us, to leave our heavy, burdenful luggage behind. So, just some more thoughts before entering that topic of men and women in spiritual culture. How our spiritual life depends actually so much on understanding that a little bit better. The mechanics and roles we're meant to play. And I hope I'll be able to present it in a relevant and digestible way, free of my great false ego, because I'm certainly not free of it. And I hope to be able to inspire, uplift, and support everyone with that presentation. And I'll hopefully see you soon for A Tale of Two Brains, the male nothing box. We start with that topic and then have a great journey and discover lots of things we may have not heard of or realized. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.